Hello everybody, 'tis I, the Rumpled One. What matters? Well, I was Googling last night because I wondered if somebody has written a book called What Matters, and actually they have, but one of them's a book of pictures. But it seems like to get into the Stanford MBA program, there's a question. And the question is, what matters most to you? People have written books on how to best answer that question. So it made me think, wow, I guess maybe I was onto something with this question. And I think that I may have come up with a pretty robust answer for it. Because the question, what matters, might not be the right question to ask. Maybe a better question, as Anthony Robbins likes to put it, would be, when does something matter? Ponder that for a minute. When does something matter, as opposed to what matters? Because I think everything matters. But the thing is, everything doesn't matter at the same time. And what matters is when something doesn't correlate to your reasonable expectations at the time. For example, let's say you're sitting on a bus and you're reading a book. A couple people sit down next to you and they start having a conversation. No problem, right? You just basically tune it out and you read your book. But if you're sitting in a library and two people sit next to you and they start having a conversation, you most likely get a little peeved. You might even say something to them like, shh. Same thing in a movie. Because it's your expectation in one place that when you sit down and read a book in a library that anybody sitting next should be quiet. It should be quiet, it's a library. On the bus, those rules don't apply. But see, those are expectations in your head based on environment. That gets back to the book that I'm reading, The Power of Place. It's also like I mentioned before. If it's cold out, then what matters is that my clothes keep me warm and dry. If it's hot out, then they should keep me cool. Maybe that if I have the proper clothes, then I don't even think about it. Now, what matters is if I when I take one of those trucks into town, they start. If they don't, then all of a sudden that matters. And so also what matters is something that causes you to take action to put things back to your expectations. So I expect my car to start, my truck to start. If it doesn't, then I'm going to get out there, find out why, and then do something to fix it, because that matters. So things that matter compel you to action. Another thing that matters is basically you have these expectations. And I think this is what the marketers do, is that they work on those expectations. Because you have certain needs. Shelter, food, water. And beyond that, you have wants. You might want new clothes, Might want a new truck, might want a new phone, might want a new camera. But chances are you probably have them. So if you don't have it at all, then you're basically in acquisition mode. You do things to acquire it, so because that matters to you, so you do what it takes to acquire it. Then once you acquire it, if something happens to it, then you might have to fix it because you expected it to work some way or perform a certain way, and it doesn't anymore. So, and it matters to you that it does now because you have it. See, sometimes if you don't have things, then it doesn't matter. You know, once again, this cell phone, before I had this particular cell phone, it didn't matter that the Wi-Fi hotspot didn't work. Something to ponder, and it will be continued.